have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, radical personal transformation, whole life prosperity and success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it may be, wherever you are in the world. When you hit that play button, so glad you did. I love it when you hit that play button. I want to thank you for being here. All of you, whether this is your first time or whether you are returning again and again and again, really appreciate you listening in. This is Dr. Cause, in effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina, and you found the Genesis frequency. And again, this show is about personal, professional, and leadership development. So this is for the individual, the small business owner, the entrepreneur, and all of you working in a corporate environment on a corporate team, and even the C-suite executive and executive decision makers and everyone that is part of some team somewhere. Anyone that wants to improve themselves, their lives, and their experiences. I'm all about personal and professional development here. And couple of months ago, well, really last month, September, I really started focusing in hey, let's start now on getting a plan in place for what we want to achieve moving forward into next year, into whatever's next for you, wherever you are, the next quarter, the next month, the next year. And I gave you some really, really, really sound advice that has been drawn from so many of the most efficient plans and tools and books and articles out there to put together a plan that when executed will move you from where you are to where you want to be. Isn't that what it's all about? Achieving our goals in life, whatever they may be. And I always encourage everyone to dream big dreams and dream big goals and then work backwards, continue to break everything down, to chunk everything down to today, to today's experience, and develop a plan with the end in mind of how you're going to get there. And I do also say, I just said how you're going to get there. Well, you know what? I often say the how is none of our business, and it really isn't, but we are creatures that receive. We're on the receiving end of inspired thought. And that's where the how comes from. So when we open ourselves up in consciousness to inspired thoughts. Say, hey, I don't know how. And I don't have to know how, but this is the dream. We open ourselves up to this inspired thought, and things will drop in. Opportunities will drop in. Ideas will drop in. Inspiration will drop in. So you may think I'm contradicting myself when I say, hey, you got to chunk it all down and decide what you're going to do, how you're going to construct your day and your week, your morning, your afternoon even, and what you're going to do in every hour to move you closer to the dream. Now, you don't have to know all the how, right, to get to the big dream goal. And the reason I emphasize this, all right, this is not a show today about how. Today we're going to talk about your personal success plan. But so many people limit their dreams and their desires because they say, I don't know how that could ever happen for me. Well, just the fact that you have the desire, just because you have the desire means it's possible for you to achieve that in your company, in your small business, as an individual. And I encourage everybody to work on a personal goal and a professional goal at the same time, because those lives, that we experience that way are so intertwined. So we're working on these and we're striving for these and set those big dream goals. Dream again, pull out the imagination and do this thing. right? You don't have to know how, but you have probably some ideas of what you could do and probably should do, and that if you did do this thing, it would move you a step closer. So that's what I'm talking about when I say the how that you bring to the table, because we do have to take action. This isn't about knowing what you want and then just sitting in the easy chair and just waiting it for it to show up at our door. So what I want to share today, I just mentioned a personal success plan. Being in this business as long as I have, this business of personal, professional, and leadership development, you see a lot of, hey, daily habits for success, daily activities for success, 5-point list, 7-point list, and do this and do that. And and those are all great. And if something that you found really worked for you, I encourage you to post it and use it. For me, seeing so many of these, maybe I've been conditioned, maybe not, but one that recently came in front of me is from Paul J. Meyer. And I'm telling you, I read this one, and for some reason, it really, really excites me and fills me with that enthusiasm. And if you've been listening to me for any length of time, you know it is enthusiasm that makes the difference. So I'm not sure what it is. We're going to read through this together, but I want to give credit where credit is due. Paul Meyer is the founder of LMI Leadership Management International, which really started as Success Motivational Institute, extraordinary life, born into a poor immigrant family, and was a self-made man, in the insurance industry, became a millionaire at a very, very young age back in the 50s when that was actually a lot of money. And he became the youngest member of the $1 Million Roundtable in the insurance industry at the age of 22. And 27, of course, he was a millionaire. And really, we look to Paul J. Meyer and the work that he did is really the pioneer, really started a whole industry. The personal development, the leadership development, the motivational development, self-help industry, if you want to call it that. And and his organization is the one that recently I joined as a franchise partner, Leadership Management International. But looking over this personal success plan, no matter where I would be, whether I'm a franchisee of Leadership Management International or not, this success plan really resonates with me. So I'm going to share it with you. But again, this is not my words. This is from Paul J. Meyer and Leadership Management International. Their uh, headquarters is in Waco, Texas. You can find more about LMI at lmi-world.com. All right. The Paul J. Meyer Personal Success Plan. Number one is to crystallize your thinking. Crystallize your thinking. What does that mean? That means to get really clear with your thoughts, in thoughts. Remember, I've always talked about the formula thoughts plus feelings plus actions equals results. You have to have clarity in your thinking. If you have muddy thoughts, muddy thinking, things aren't clear for you, you're going to have muddy thoughts, foggy results show up in your life. So he says, crystallize your thinking. That's number one. Determine what specific goal you want to achieve. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's me sounding like a broken record coming at you all the time. What's next? What do you want to be, do, and have in your life? The next point under crystallized thinking says, dedicate yourself to its attainment with unswerving singleness of purpose, the trenchant zeal of a crusader. And I love that. That's one of the things I think really excites me just reading those words. I love words. Trenchant zeal. Trenchant is vigorous, effective, energetic, right? It's being at cause with enthusiasm because that's a driver in our lives, right? Vigorous, energetic, filled with energy and enthusiasm to get this thing done. And it's in the same sentence with that singleness of purpose. So we're not working. on 400 different big dream goals. Because when we're working on, if we would do that, we'd be working on one over here, and then we would take our focus off the one on the right. And then if we're focusing on the one on the right, the one over there on the left. Singleness of purpose. What is the big dream goal? Then we chunk it down to bite-sized pieces. All right. Number two, develop a plan for achieving your goal. And it's a deadline for its attainment. So what is it? Develop a plan. Earlier I said, what can you do right now? And you should do and could do. And if you did do it, it would move you a step closer. Put that in your planner, right? Plan your progress carefully, hour by hour, day by day, month by month. Say 12 months from now, you want to, whatever it is, maybe be in a relationship. Maybe it's health and physical fitness and you have a weight goal. Maybe it's monetary. Time and money freedom is a big one for a lot of people. What is that? Where do you want to be 12 months from now? Let's just use that as an example. So you want to break that down. If you want the dollar amount 12 months from now, what do you have to generate every month in order to hit that goal? And then when you look at every month, what do you have to do every week to hit that goal? Right. And then every day to hit that goal. Then what do you have to do in the morning and in the evening before you go to bed? What is the number you have to hit? Plan your progress carefully, hour by hour, day by day, month by month. Next point under develop a plan for achieving your goal. We have that deadline, right? We want to organize our activity. That's what I've been talking about in the last several episodes. Organize activity and maintained enthusiasm are the well springs of your power. Organized activity. That means we're using our planning system. And planning system, I highly encourage you to use the My Time Success Planner. I have those available, but I usually make them available and give you one with one of my programs. But the thing is, everybody, well, I use an online calendar. I'm not talking about a calendar system. I use an online calendar too. I use a couple of different ones, as a matter of fact, and they're integrated. And I use that and they're good for what they do. But what's your planning system? Planner, dedicated to planning, dedicated to goal achievement, and more like a commitment book. It's something that we should all use. And keeping that crystallized goal front and center is one thing that is going to help you to maintain the enthusiasm that we talk about in this one. All right, number three, develop a sincere desire for what you want in life. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? I really want this thing. Otherwise, you wouldn't have picked it. I encourage people to make a list of everything you want to experience in your life. I mean, make that list, keep adding to that list. You see something you want to experience, you want to have, you want to do, you want to be. Don't forget these intangible aspects of character. What do you want to more develop more in your character? But you see something like that, put it on the list. And when we're starting out this work, I really encourage a lot of people to step back from your list, your long list that you made. And then when you return to it in a day or so, read it again and see which one excites you and scares you at the same time. Which one makes the hair on your arms stand up? Which one really you can tell that you feel that passion for its attainment. And that's the one that you probably want to focus on. Maybe it's been speaking to you for a long time. Maybe it has been there all along your whole life, sitting there as longing and discontent. So you want to focus on that one. So you want to really develop that sincere desire, knowing that it's possible for you. And it is possible. You couldn't even have the thought of it possibly coming true if it wasn't possible for you to achieve it in your life. So develop that sincere desire, meaning that no matter what happens, I am moving in this direction. I am going after this thing. A burning desire is the greatest motivator of every human action. That's point one under develop a sincere desire for what you want in life. Next point under this one is the desire for success implants, get this, success consciousness, which in turn creates a vigorous and ever increasing habit of success. What does this mean? Listen to these words. Pay attention here. The desire for success implant success consciousness, which in turn creates a vigorous and ever increasing habit of success. That means you will turn into a success machine because it's your consciousness sending a message to your subconscious, which is the executive director of the actions that you take that becomes habits. You've heard me talk a lot about habits, habitual behavior, and paradigms. You will become this machine that almost like a machine, but we're spiritual beings having a human experience. Don't ever forget that. But your success factor will be established. Your success consciousness will be established, and you'll always course correct. You'll find yourself course correcting when you're not even thinking about success, but you'll automatically course correct when there's something maybe catching your eye or distracting you that says, "Hey, this isn't part of your success plan. This is not contributing to what you want to be doing, have in your life." And you'll course correct. That's what this one means. That's what Paul means. The desire for success implants success consciousness. I encourage you to write these down, Google them, pin them up, put them on your wall. Number four, there's five of these, so hang in there with me. Number four is develop supreme confidence in yourself and your own abilities. Develop supreme confidence in yourself and your own abilities. Yes, you can do this thing. You don't have to know how. Maybe there is something that you have to learn, but you wouldn't have picked this goal if you weren't able, if you weren't willing. So if you're able and willing, you can acquire whatever you need to get to that point of where you want to be. That point of, I like to say, somewhere over the rainbow, whatever your pot of gold has been defined as for you. Develop that confidence. Excuse me. Points underneath this. Enter every activity without giving mental recognition to the possibility of defeat. So you're telling yourself right in the beginning, hey, I'm going to do this thing. Here's a task on my list that's going to move me closer. So I'm going to enter into this with a consciousness and the confidence that I'm going to get this thing done, that I am not going to fail. There is no defeat. Even what we label and call failure is just successfully identifying one way that did not work to move us closer, right? So we don't entertain the possibility of defeat. Just get that out of your mind. I'm not gonna fail. I'm not gonna be defeated. I'm not gonna defeat myself by utilizing my mind to think thought that are negative, that pull me away, that tell me, the ego talking, saying, you can't do this, give it up. We're not going to do that. Enter every activity without giving mental recognition to the possibility of defeat. So that includes that negative self-talk. Point number two under here is saying concentrate on your strengths instead of your weaknesses, on your powers instead of your problems. This is so important. I see so many people that I work with that they get started and they're focusing on their weakness. Well, I can't do this thing. Yeah, I really want it. Yeah, I can't do this thing. Maybe other people can, but I can't. I'm not strong enough in this area. You can develop this. People that you see with muscles at the gym or a toned and physically fit body didn't have that before they started working out. They developed that. Concentrate on your strengths, your determination, your enthusiasm, your burning desires, the love and the passion for what you do and what you want to feel like. Concentrate on that feeling, the feeling of success. Concentrate. That's concentrating on your powers instead of your problems. Too many people focus on the problems, the excuses, the why I can't. All right, number five. Last one on the personal success plan list from Paul J. Meyer and LMI Leadership Management International. Develop a dogged determination to follow through on your plan, regardless of obstacles, criticism, or circumstances, or what other people think, say, or do. Man, is that important. So many people get to this point. Hey, I thought of the big dream. This is what I want. I want the cabin up in the woods, or I want to have this weight target goal. I want that to be my weight, or I want this much money, cash on hand. And they develop it, and they have a plan in place. They chunked it down. I got to do this every month. I got to do this every week. I got to do this every day. And then they stall. The old paradigms, the old beliefs, the old habits kick in, and they've come up to an obstacle, or they get maybe old thoughts of fear, and they don't go any further than that. They stop there. So right now, be determined to follow through. Obstacles, move that mountain. Say to that mountain, be removed. I cast you out of my way. Right? No obstacles. Don't worry about criticism. What other people think is none of your business. Don't listen to it. Listen to that inner voice that says, yes, you can. Yes, you are doing this thing. Yes, move forward. Listen to your enthusiasm and your desire and your passion and the love for what you want to experience in your life. Obstacles, criticism, circumstances, just brush them aside. They're just things to move out of your way that don't serve you. And many of those, once you move them out of your way one time, well, the chances are they won't come back. But if they do, hey, you start building that confidence up. Hey, I experienced something like this before. I'm going to move it out of my way. And this is easy. That's how we make those mountains into to molehills rather than making molehills into mountains, to use that old saying, right? Okay, a couple points under this one, then we wrap this up. It says, construct your determination with sustained effort, controlled attention, and concentrated energy. This is bringing in the power of the will. This is the ability to focus. Construct your determination. So we construct it, we build it, we're determined, we're moving forward. Sustained effort, what is that? Consistent, daily, moment by moment efforts. Knowing that every effort is moving us closer to the end game, the goal. Controlled attention. We're not allowing ourselves to be distracted. We're being very disciplined. We identify the things that are distractions, and we work out a plan to eliminate or reduce those distractions. So controlled attention, concentrated energy. When we do that, when we control our attention, when we are sustaining our effort through consistent daily actions, we're focusing all our energy on the task that we've identified that has to be done this day, this morning, this hour, to getting it done. That adds is one of the building blocks of the big plan. And then finally, the final point under develop the dogged determination to follow through is opportunities never come to those who wait. They are captured by those who dare to take action, which is really a bullet point that is a summary of everything that's been said here. Opportunities don't come to those who wait. So if you're going to hit that button and stop this podcast, you're going to kick back and say, well, I'm going to think about this for a while. Think about it. The opportunities, the inspired thought, the inspired direction, the guidance is not going to show up. You have to move. You can't wait around. Quit buying into your own excuses. They are captured. These opportunities are captured by those who dare to take action. So take action, whatever it is, even if it's just right now. You haven't done anything around this, getting out a notebook and start listing what you'd like to achieve in your life. You want help with this? Reach out to me. Successappointment.com gets you a spot on my calendar. Successappointment.com. Maybe you want to participate in one of the showcases we have coming up. We're going to be doing a showcase very soon, which is reserved really for executive decision makers in the corporate space or in the small business space that want to take a look at what's involved in the programs that we have that bring leadership to your company. So maybe you want to get involved in that, find out what that's all about. Um, Maybe you just want to work personal program for yourself and the dreams that you want to achieve in your life, whatever. Same calendar, successappointment.com, successocean.com, successocean.biz. With this franchise and with what I've been doing since 2013, I'm always looking for individuals that want to step into the wonderful world of entrepreneurship and write their own ticket and be involved working in this wonderful business of personal, professional, and leadership development. So reach out if you want to have a conversation about that. Successappointment.com gets you on the calendar. So, hey, I went over a little bit today. I think it's good stuff. I think you need to listen to this over and over and over again. Write it down. Go look at LMI, uh, lmi-world.com, and you can probably find the success plan on there. I'm sure you can if you Google it. Pin it up, post it, memorize it, write it down with handwriting. You got to engage the senses as you're forming and learning these new habits. So do this thing. So that's going to do it for today. You've been listening to the Genesis Frequency. This is Dr. Cause and Effect. Dr. Stephen J. Kosmina, I thank you for listening, and I wish for you an infinitely spectacular day. Bless you.